Hi, welcome back, or welcome if you're joining for the first time. Today's perfume review is all about Le Point G, or the G-Spot by Veronique Gabai. Here it is right here. This is a fragrance that just launched maybe a couple months ago. It's fairly new, and yeah, we're gonna review it today, talk about it today. First of all, have a look at the gorgeous bottle. I don't think I own a bottle that's quite this nice. This is all 18 karat gold, including the stopper, I believe, and this bottle is completely refillable. So you can unscrew the top, buy the refill this bottle, and basically treasure this this bottle forever. Treasure it forever and keep it forever, and hopefully you fall in love with the scent so much that you want it around forever. So Veronique Gabai. Have you heard of the brand? I bet you haven't, because the brand itself is also fairly new. Veronique Gabai is the name of a former Estee Lauder executive. She worked in the fine fragrance, niche fragrance division for Estee Lauder for a while, and from what I can see, she kind of worked for Estee Lauder and then climbed the ranks until she was at that position, and then decided to leave and eventually started her own brand. So the perfume company only started in 2019, so it's only a couple years old, which in the world of perfume is quite young, I think, But that being said, she has a number of perfumes out already, and this is the latest one. So really excited to get my hands on this. You can see that the concept itself is quite mature. It's quite assured. It's confident. Just the idea of making the bottles something luxurious and valuable enough to spend your money on, and also incorporating that sustainability aspect of making them refillable, I think is quite forward thinking and really sets this brand apart. Like, this is a brand that is opening with a vision and isn't trying to just copy everything else that's out there like some other brands sometimes do. So there's a lot of not copying, but being inspired by everything else that's out there. And I don't know if this brand is going to go that direction. I really feel like, because of the insight that she probably already has in the fragrance industry, I don't know if this brand is just going to give us another version of what's already out there. I think it's going to try to recreate a sense of luxury and permanence in your perfume collection. So maybe now you're not going to be collecting 10 or 15 different scents from all different brands. Maybe you're just going to be buying a Veronique Gabai fragrance when it releases. And that's the thing with new brands. I think new brands can sometimes be really interesting to look at because they come in with a very specific vision, and they're able to follow that without being influenced by other factors, right? They're a little bit more idealistic, and I really love that when a new brand launches. They're not so focused on pandering to a certain demographic or a certain market. Maybe they have a certain customer in mind. I'm sure they do. Definitely when you formulate a perfume, you have a certain mood in mind or a certain wearer in mind, but the brand as a whole can kind of afford to be idealistic when they're starting out, because they want to be able to establish themselves as something different. And I just think that's really cool. I love that about new brands, and that's why I love discovering something that's a little bit more niche and that not everyone has already heard of and tried. From what I know of executives that I've met for different companies that are really big, like a L'Oreal or an Estee Lauder, I will say that when you're at that level, you kind of get to see everything. You've got that bird's eye view of the market. You smell everything that's out there, just to sample it, just to be able to compare, just to be able to have an understanding of the market. And so then for her to step aside and start something else that's her own, I think can only be interesting, right? You would only do that if you saw a opening a niche that hadn't been taken yet. So hopefully that's the way this goes. This is definitely a very promising scent, and let's get into the review of it. What does it smell like? Okay, Veronique Gabai. The second I opened the bottle, so when I unboxed it and I opened the stopper and I smelled it, it reminded me of something, and I knew exactly what it was when I smelled it, because the base notes of this, the muskiness, it's a very clean musk of this, are the same as Glossier U. Yes, Glossier U, this is it right here. I got this probably last year. This is a 50 ml, which is the only size it comes in. Blind bought it. Yeah, same musky base that Veronique Gabai's the G-Spot has. So that's actually promising. That's a beautiful note. It's obviously a bestseller because Glossier continues to use it. And it smells amazing in this fragrance too. I will say in this scent, it's quite a bit deeper, stronger, and even though these are both eau de parfums, I can tell you right now the concentration in this is way more, because not only does it have way more lasting power, it also lasts so much that you can still smell it on your clothes after you wash them. So the only other perfume company that does that for me is Frederic Malle. His perfumes are so strong that I can smell them even after I wash my clothes, and that's a great thing. You're going to use less perfume because it's going so much further and really lasting a long time. Okay, so the dry down, yes, a little bit like Glossier U, not exactly like Glossier U. Don't feel like you're just going to skip this. The opening is a gorgeous, gorgeous rose. So it opens with a rose that's very full, it's very warm, and it's also a little bit salty. And I think that's because all the perfumes that this brand is launching are going to be inspired by the south of France, which is where Veronique Gabai is originally from. So that's going to be her perspective. That's where she's coming from, and all her scent memories, I guess, are from there. And so all the fragrance are said to be inspired by that region of the world. So there is kind of a saltiness, a kind of seaside kind of vibe that you get when you smell this. But this is definitely a nighttime fragrance because it is so seductive and so warm and almost cozy. So you've got that rose that you get in the opening, but then that rose blends with that deep, warm musk that this Glossier U also has. But I mean, look at these are totally different. Glossier U invites you in with this little thumbprint where you can, hold this quite snugly in your hand. It's small, it's cute, it's very approachable. This is for someone that's more mature, okay? This is for someone that knows how to wear fragrance. They're gonna know exactly what they're getting. They're gonna want something long lasting. They don't want to blend in. They wanna wear something that makes them feel seductive and also memorable. Like, this is a very, like I said, deep, warm, memorable scent, and it's not quite as approachable as Glossier U is. So Glossier U definitely is, for that 20-something, or maybe even a teenager. I really see it being marketed towards that kind of a person. The bottle is so small, there's no refills in this, even though I'm sure Glossier would love to be thought of as environmentally conscious. This is really for someone that's going to wear this for 3, 4, 5 years, and then they're going to move on to something else. This is not a moving on kind of scent. This is something that you're going to have forever, and you're going to love it so much that you're going to refill it. Like I said, there's a real confidence, a real boldness that comes with wearing this scent, Le Poingy. It is just so seductive, but in a very self-assured kind of way. So I love it. Great lasting power. Amazing sillage. This has almost no sillage. I mean, we really shouldn't compare these because they're not dupes of each other, but that dry down, that musk Cozy Musk Dry Down is unmistakably almost the same. It's just so much stronger and warmer and blended with like a nice heavy rose in the main body of the scent. So that's Le Poingy. If you're thinking about getting it, you can get it from the Veronique Gabai website. It comes in a travel size as well, and there's samples as well for purchase. I haven't seen stores around me that carry this. I know there's stores in the US that have it. But yeah, if you see this line of scents, the bottle, the presentation is iconic. So it is quite eye-catching, and I know it's quite memorable. So if you see it, you'll know exactly what it is. And if you've tried it or tried any of our other scents, let me know. I would love to hear from you and hear what you guys liked. There you go. Hope you enjoyed this review. I'll see you next time.